Hey, welcome. I'm Paul from Eatsy, the online ordering system in the UK. And today we're going to be talking about food and drink online ordering systems and your choices and how to avoid some of the stumbling blocks and holes that you might get involved in with marketplaces, websites, online ordering platforms, taking credit card payments, and lots of other parts to really enable your business for the future. So really, first question that lots of people ask is, is it right for me? Should my business be online? Our platform is designed to be used by pretty much anything that's food and drink. And what I would say is online now is essential for all businesses in the UK. And I'll cover some of those stats in a second. But whether you're a baker, a restaurant, a coffee shop, a greengrocer, a street food, a convenience store, whether you're selling just other stuff on the high street, the essential part is to have an online presence and have an ability for your customers to place orders with you. If you look at the stats in UK retail, over the years it's been increasing dramatically. Year on year increases, we expect that to continue. In fact, we expect it to accelerate partly down to some of the lockdowns in what's been enforced and how people are having to work. So the online sales, 22% right now is done online, retail across the UK. Expectation is that's going to actually increase further at a higher rate this year in 2020 and continue to rise over the coming years. But what does that look like in the food space? Well, actually in the food and drink space, it's a higher percentage. So what we're actually seeing in food delivery space right now is that in food delivery, 58% is now online. So that in the last sort of 12 months has actually overtaken what we've seen in physical orders. And actually what we're seeing now is taking over that and online is now becoming the primary source for ordering food online. Huge market, around 9 billion, with around about 11 million active users. And that means somebody who's active within 30 days. So actually overall users are much, much greater than that. But we're all being pushed for it. We've all been pushed really hard this year. COVID-19 lockdown, enforcement of social distancing has meant that we have to bring in place more ways of taking card payments, contactless card payments, reducing the use of cash. As we all know, cash can carry lots of bacteria and things in general, but with the COVID-19 situation, that's been removed even further to reduce the chance of infection. But what we're also seeing is that card payment and social distancing are playing a big part in online ordering and need to be able to order ahead of time and pick up food, drink and anything else in a contactless way. And that is going to drive the increase in online ordering this year. And it's also going to drive the need for systems like what we're going to talk about in the not too distant future. It's probably the only way that we're going to see places such as bars and restaurants be able to open again and be able to take orders from a table. Now, one of the things that's in there around card payments, I speak to lots of businesses at the moment who say, well, we're trying to do that and we're doing it over the phone, it's fine, not a problem. Then when I ask the question around how do you do that, the answer is usually, we'll do it over the phone. We ask the person to read out the long card number. We then ask them to read out the number at the back of the card, so the security code. We ask them to read out all of these sorts of the card. Now, two things around that. One is anybody could be listening in on that call, especially if you're stood next to other customers. But actually, more importantly, is there's a PCI compliance piece, which means that to be able to take card payments, you have to comply with PCI compliance. Most of the devices you'll use for taking card payments over the phone will be PCI compliant. That's fine. The biggest risk to you as a business is actually that the taking of a card number over the phone has its own risk. And the biggest risk has been your own staff. A lot of time these aren't intentional things, but they can result in fraud situations. If the fraud situation is investigated and you don't have the right practices in place, you as a business will remove your ability to take credit card payments. So really crucial that by handling credit card payments, you do it in the right way. The challenge on taking card payments, and we see this time and time again, is lots of businesses have one card machine and there might be 7 people at the front of house and also on the phone in the back trying to take card payments. What happens a lot of the time is people don't want the customer to wait And we see it time and time again of people writing down card details and then putting them into the machine when the machine's free. All seems pretty straightforward, but if that card information is left somewhere, or somebody else sees it, or somebody else gets hold of it, and then is used for fraudulent issues, then that comes back to bite your business potentially. So PCI risk and card payment risk by taking over the phone is not great, and lots of customers don't actually like it. Lots of customers will point blank refuse to give out credit card information over the phone these days. So really, really difficult to be efficient business and be able to take all the orders that you should be taking through telephone. Seems straightforward, but it's one of those ones. It can go right roughly 100% of the time, 99% of the time, and it just takes that 1% of the thing that goes wrong to then cause your business lots of issues. So taking card payments is definitely a challenge, but it's one of those things that we should be doing more of, and we'll have to do more of as we move forward around contactless. So why would you as a business want to do online ordering? What is it that it gives you? What is it you should get from this? Well, first, the secure card payments. We just talked about systems online effectively are run through most card providers. And a lot of those might be your PayPal's, or more we're seeing the likes of Stripe.com being the main payment system being used by lots. We see it with Square and other people as well. They are robustly secure. They have lots of things in place to ensure PCI compliance. They have lots of things in place around doing checks and fraud checks and everything else that protects you as a business. Online orders allow you to take orders while you sleep. I mean, literally, you could have customers placing orders at 2 in the morning for 5 o'clock next day. So you can take orders while you sleep. It also frees up your card machine. If you have one card machine, that card machine can be used at the front of house, especially as we start to get back to normal. As businesses, you will want the need to be able to do that. So they're freeing up that card machine, and it also means that it frees up staff. I've seen typical telephone orders take anything from 3 to 5 to 10 minutes, depending on what's happening. Depends how quick they can get the card machine, depends whether the customer has information to hand, and those orders are locking up your telephone lines, reducing the amount of orders you can take, but also using up your staff. And if you worked out how much that staff member cost you, you may decide that actually you're cheaper to get the online ordering system working, which is actually usually quite valid. So the tracking orders, the system itself will log all those orders. You're able to track them, you're able to update customers on where the orders are. Then you've got a restriction on orders. Now, restrictions on orders are pretty critical, especially as you scale and do lots more orders. Now, you can restrict orders on these systems to only allow people to order for specific times, but also you can do it and set it up to allow customers who are only in a certain location to order for delivery. It also means that you can then restrict things on value. So you might only allow somebody to order if they place an order more than £20, £30, £40. And you can also restrict the days. The other thing that you can around this, especially on delivery, is apply delivery charges to orders, and delivery charges depending on the distance from your location. The other great thing about online systems, and most of them are, is the instant quick changes. Doesn't apply to all, just to bear in mind. Some of these systems are pretty intensive in the fact that the only way you can do them is you contact the provider and they will give you an ETA of maybe a few days to turn around the menu and prices. But in a general way, and in the way that we're seeing more and more systems move towards, is that you can do it yourself. And our system itself allows you to do that and allows you to configure most of these things by yourself, obviously with help there if you ever need it. Efficient and quick, really, let's say you can change something and it'll be on live within seconds. So you could change the price of a dish within seconds, the customer's now paying the new price. You could try a new dish, you could try new toppings, you could try anything new, keep it running for a few hours, and then see what you want to do with it. Is it working well? Is it not working well? They want to tweak it, they want to change it, they want to add something else, they want to remove it. And the other thing is, if you run out of something, you can turn it off as well, instantaneously. Customer expectations, pretty much most of the generations now are expecting to do online ordering for lots of things. So we're going to see the expectation of customers going to keep increasing. So we're going to see over the years, more and more people that you're dealing with just expect you to be online. And we're seeing that across the age groups as well now as people get used to it. The last but no means least, your data. Now this is really critical. You hear me talk about it, is your customer data is your customer data. If customers are ordering from you, I strongly believe that you should be owning that data and you should have access to that data. It's your customers. Bear in mind, not all systems do it. Not all systems allow you to have it. So that's something just to watch out for as you select your systems and select how you're going to do this as you move forward. But what are you going to need? You know, so if you're a food and drink business, which are the ones we work with and the ones we know best, most of your businesses will need collection ordering and delivery ordering, and that has the management capability in the back end to allow you to manage those orders. If you're a bar or a restaurant or a cafe or anything that has a seat-in area or an outdoor seating area, it is highly likely in the next few months you're going to need table reservations, table ordering, and potentially food pre-ordering to reduce the contact between you and your customers. We're probably going to see that it'll allow people to sit outside with the social distancing in place, but it will more likely be that you'll have to have some sort of online system for them to place orders and then to make payments without handling cash or without getting too close to any of your staff. So that contactless payment is going to be really crucial, effectively paying for their goods through the application, through your online system. So what options have you got out there? Well, there is a number of combinations, and I'm only going to cover a little bit of that, but really the two main options are your own website, front door, that you can create, and then you would have to either, within that website, have an online ordering system or work with a partner who provides the online ordering capability. The other side of it is your online marketplace. And our online marketplace, the one that you'll know most of is Amazon is probably the biggest one in the world, or is the biggest one in the world. And much like that, there's lots of food and drink marketplaces and other marketplaces for selling goods. So they're the two main options that you have, and both of them come with different benefits and also other challenges that you might face by using those systems. So firstly, your own website. Well, the first thing to think about your own website is a bit like opening a shop in the middle of nowhere. And that shop it might be selling the best goods ever seen, but trying to get people to be aware that that shop exists and how to get to that shop and how to get the goods from that shop means you have to tell everybody about it, you have to promote it. And so although your website might seem like the best option to give you brand and your capability, what you want to sell and get it exactly how you want it, the biggest challenge you'll have is driving your business to it, because it's only your place and you have to do the marketing. Now that has costs of building it, costs of promoting it, and costs of maintaining it. But it depends on your own expertise and your own experience whether this is the right thing for you. Websites are great to keep your brand, great to give yourself an identity. The question really is, how much will you have to spend on marketing to get people to that website to place orders? And it will depend. It will depend how well known your brand is. It will depend how long you've been around. It will depend if every person in that area knows of you and knows how to order from you and knows your website and how you can promote that. That's probably the biggest challenge of your own website. The biggest benefit is you control it. It's everything of yours. It's your brand. It's everything that you want on there. So that's of your website, and also you can get single store online ordering systems that bolt onto it that allow you to then take that order. But again, you still have to drive the traffic to your website and then to the online ordering system. So if it was from an online marketplace, as I said, the biggest one in the world is Amazon. People like eBay and lots of others all over the world for doing goods and services. We'll cover some of the ones that are in the online food and drink section, but effectively it's a bit like a shopping mall. It's a bit like you open a store in one of the big shopping malls in the UK, and you have a store in there, and the shopping mall brings the customers to you. So very little promotion needed to get the customers, or less promotion. You effectively put links of your own to link everything together from your website, things that all flows through, but it gives you that capability of getting more and more customers, getting your name out there, getting people to come to you, especially when you're starting out, who don't know who you are. The way these systems work is mainly a charge per order, mainly a commission, mainly a percentage base, and I'll cover the cost of that in a second. So the big benefit of these marketplaces is they will get the customers for you. The biggest challenge for them is the cost. So they do cost, and they also don't give you your customer data. So your customer data won't be there. It will be within the marketplace itself. So the shopping mall itself will own your customer data, even though they're bought from you. So that's the biggest risk of marketplaces. But for driving traffic to you when you haven't got a massive marketing spend available, it can help accelerate your business. But bear in mind, your biggest challenge is going to be that you don't have the data of your customers anyway. So the other option is you best of both worlds, and it's probably the space that we work in most with what we do, in that we enable you to give you the online capability attached to a front door website. So literally, we just create the online ordering capability for you. But on the other side of it, we also place you in the marketplace so that you're visible to other people. And the way that it works is the more places you can have that are common or similar in a similar area, as in a similar location of the country, each of them feed each other. And I've heard so many people in the past say, but I'm helping another business, that some other business is going to benefit from it. If you think about food and drink, very rare would somebody order pizza on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but they're more likely to order pizza one night, curry another night, and whatever else on the following night. And so what we tend to see is people benefit by coming together and actually coming on a marketplace with the same location. And that online store, particularly for your website, means if somebody goes direct, they come through and they're in there. And also, if they go via the marketplace, they come to the same location. The critical part is making sure you get access to your customer data. And that's the thing, that depending on which sites and things you go with, which marketplaces, will depend whether you get access to that data. Most marketplaces won't give you the access. There are a few that will. So what does it cost? I mean, average cost, very, very hard to say. I mean, literally, it depends what you want to do with it, and depends how much you want to take it, gold coat it, really simple, lots and lots of functionality. It really depends. So as your own website with a online capability in there, it will range, and it can be anything from roughly £500 to 10,000 on a website. It will really depend what you're trying to do, and whether the online capability is locked into the website as well. Single store online ordering, which usually are bought onto your website, roughly it comes about a percentage, roughly between 5 and 10% of orders. That's usually what they'll take. Some of them will do fixed fees, roughly about anything from average about £100 a month. The other option is you can build it yourself, and there's lots of tools out there to do that. You need to know what you're doing though, and that's the important thing. Is if you know what you're doing and you have the time to build it, then that might be the right option for you. These systems themselves cost, again, roughly an average about £100 a month. And they just bear in mind on this, so they do have slightly higher credit card fees most of the time. So for example, on our systems, we run straight from Stripe.com, and that runs at about 1.4% plus 20 pence. Quite a number of the systems where you build it yourself are roughly around the 2% plus 20 pence per order. So they're slightly higher, so it's just something to take into consideration. The main thing, as I said earlier, is you have no idea how much marketing costs it's going to cost, how much it's going to cost to actually get you that traffic and get enough orders to your website. You won't know that, and you won't know it until you do it, and it's very hard to determine. And again, you need skills to do that, so you may have to spend quite a bit on the marketing cost to come to your website. So that's how, if you're building it, doing it yourself, try and have your own website. From some of the companies in this space that operate, just so you're aware of them, there's quite a few in there. You've got your ones that you can build yourself, such as Square, the Wix, the BigCommerce, Illusion. You've got Shopify, which again, massive for e-commerce, but they're also now starting to do restaurants and takeaways and things. And a UK-based one called Preoday that does effectively single store or online ordering. And then you've got ourselves as well in that space, Etsy. So again, we operate where you can bolt on and connect into what we do. Lots of others. And lots of others across the UK, and you would have to do that search and have a look for yourself. Lots of them in the UK, lots of them actually based in India, and lots of other places across Europe that provide this technology as well. But they're the sort of things you can do if you want to build it yourself with your own website. And what about marketplaces? So marketplaces have grown over the last couple of years. Just Eat came into the UK market probably 9 years ago, and it is the biggest one in the UK. It takes about 40% of all online orders in the UK of food and drink. And then you've got Deliveroo, Uber Eats, which is Uber Eats is a newer one. Deliveroo is one that started in the UK about probably 5-6 years back. Then both Deliveroo and Uber Eats started from a delivery model, and then Deliveroo branched into collection. Just Eat started as a collection type place and providing technology for delivery. They've, over the last couple of years, moved more towards similar models to Deliveroo and Uber Eats. Charge-wise, it varies, and a lot of time the salespeople are given the kind of remit to be able to negotiate costs. But roughly to give you an idea, Just Eat will usually, as a set of charge, of around about £500, £600. And then per order, it's anything from 14 to 23%. That depends on what you're taking from them. So if you're just taking the technology, you're closer down to the sort of 12, 13, 14% roughly. Although that we have seen that continue to go up over the last couple of years. If you want more the delivery capability, a bit like Deliveroo and Uber Eats, then it's much more around the 23, 25% mark. There also is 5p admin charge for restaurants and also a 50p charge for customers that they pay when they place a credit card payment, and that's with Just Eat. Just Eat does delivery and collection. They will not give you your data though, so the data is held by Just Eat, your customers are held by Just Eat, and that's the same for Deliveroo, Uber Eats, and most of the others I said earlier. Deliveroo side, setup charge similar. I don't have the actual data on the setup charge there, but it'll be similar, I imagine, from Just Eat. Per order, it's roughly about 30%. I believe you would see on average around that. Remember, they're doing the delivery for you as well. So the other thing to work out with these companies is if you're going to use them for delivery, how much would it cost you to get somebody permanently on a Friday, Saturday night? So it might be all you need. But it really varies. It's the hard thing is when you get quieter nights and have a full-time person, and you get additional costs in that delivery. There's more and more companies springing up all over the place doing delivery and doing that delivery side. So it's also worth looking out at what other companies are available to do a delivery side, and then just have your system collecting the orders. So delivery is roughly about 30%, and then your customer charges are based on the distance from them. So your customer will get charged the delivery charge effectively, anything from roughly £2 through to about £5.50, depending on where they are. Uber Eats, very, very similar. So Uber Eats, again, a setup charge. Their order is about 35%. They take about 35% for any order that's placed with you. And that, again, is to allow them to do a delivery side. They purely do delivery. So unlike Deliveroo and Just Eat, they do delivery and collection for you on the system. Uber Eats purely do the delivery side. So 35% they'll charge on each order. And then again, the customer will also be charged a fee for that delivery. There's lots of other marketplaces out there. Lots of them that sprouted out over the last couple of years in the UK. And again, it's an area we sit in as well, around giving you that marketplace capability to other people to see you. We, from our side, just for info, we do delivery, collection, table booking, table ordering, because we believe it's all should be all in one place. These platforms and marketplaces are fantastic for growing your business very, very quickly. The key part is how do you get that customer data? We speak to lots of customers who have went with marketplaces but never had their own strategy. And the danger is after so many years, all of their customer is coming through one of the marketplaces and they're unable to move away, and they're stuck with these charges and they can't take back control of their business, or they don't believe they can take back control of their business. It's a brave thing to do, brave thing to step away, and we understand that. We see lots of places doing that. We would encourage the likes of Just Eat, Deliveroo, Uber Eats, and anybody else in this space to start working better for restaurants, takeaways, food and drink places, and just help them own their customer. If people, in our view, if you believe in your technology and believe in your services, you shouldn't be holding people by holding their data. You should allow customers and your businesses you work with to choose the best route for them. And if you're really good at what you do, people will stick with you. And I don't see the need for holding on to customer data. But there are your options in the online marketplace. There was lots of options in there, and it is a bit of a landmine space, but it can be beneficial, and it can be beneficial when you complement it to your own website. Remember though, 99% of marketplaces, it isn't your data. So just like Amazon and eBay, if anybody uses those for other sales, retail sales, Amazon and eBay will own your customer data, and they don't encourage you to use that data and go straight to your customer. So if you're comfortable with your customer data is there and you think you can create enough attraction of your own website over time, then it might be the right mix to have a website and these marketplaces. But again, it's thinking about your strategy. Think about where you are. Think about how many customers you have today. If you have lots of customers coming to you every month, and all you're trying to do is move those customers to online ordering, then I would say go build your own website or get somebody to create something with an online capability and move your customers. If you're trying to take the market and get more of the market, or continually grow your business, then use the marketplaces alongside your own website. But make sure you have that side of that, as in you have your own website as well. So in summary, there's lots of options out there. I could talk about this subject for a long, long time. I'm very passionate about it. I'm very passionate about how we help UK businesses in e-commerce world and digitizing businesses. It's where the UK has to take the lead, and we have to stay ahead of that curve, and it needs everybody to want to take that lead and get their businesses online. What I would say is it isn't an option anymore. With what's happened this year in 2020 around the COVID lockdown, the restrictions, the contactless payments, all of it is driving a digital economy, and you have to get ahead of the game. And so whatever you select, make sure you select it for now and select it for the future. As I said, if you've got a cafe or somewhere that you've got tables, it's going to be relaxed. It's going to be relaxed in a few months, and you're going to need to be able to take table orders. You're going to need to be able to book tables without speaking to somebody or getting too close to somebody. And customers are going to expect to be able to do both of the things they were doing before, where they could order takeaways when they never could. They're going to be able to order collection, take delivery, table bookings, table orders, and you're going to need to make sure you've got all of that in place. The key part is stay in control of your data, your business, your brand. And so as long as you make those decisions based on that, you'll be fine. Reach out to other people as well. Make connections in this world. Connect with other businesses who have done it. Ask them what worked, what didn't work, what's the thing to watch for. Because it's only when you do it that you'll find the challenges. We're working with quite a few bars, restaurants, food and drink places that have never ever done takeaway or deliveries or collections. They've only ever had people walk in. And it's a change. It's a massive change for people. And lots of assumptions, lots of things that people assume, oh, everybody's got all these things in place. No, it's about refining what you do, focusing on what you do, and thinking about, well, what dishes work? If I did food previously that somebody came and collect, does that really work for delivery? Can I churn out so many of these easily and quickly? Because what you'll find in online ordering is you might get more bulk orders coming in, you might get more orders all at the same time. Very different model. So share your information, share with your community, share with people around you, reach out to us. If we can help you, just you want to bounce an idea, question, more than happy to help as well. That's what we're here for. It's one of the things we set the business up for, was to give people across the UK, businesses in the UK, an option for them that didn't mean they were tied up for any reason other than to make the business successful. And we help lots of people. This week, been speaking to people where they just have questions, they just need support. They've not used our platform, that's fine. There's some great other platforms out there across the UK. It's finding the right platform for you that meets your needs, and really important that you then feel comfortable with it. And you might use one for a few years and then move on to something else. The key part is for you to stay in control. Keep your customer data, keep hold of that data. It's your gold, it is your business. That's what your business is all about. It's that customer data and getting close to your customers. So I would suggest have a website, but keep it simple. Keep the front page. Just give yourself a logo, give yourself a brand, give yourself information in there for your customers that they understand what you're about. Don't make it more complex. I've seen websites with 40, 50, 100 pages. Nobody goes to them. Literally, they don't. They'll literally use 2 or 3 bits of information that they need. And then add an online ordering system, either within the website itself with the capabilities there, or bolt on another online ordering system or a similar system to what we have. And again, there's lots of them out there across the UK. It's finding people you're happy to work with and find the right system for you. But utilize the marketplaces. They are fantastic capabilities in there to grow your business, especially with the delivery side. If you want to be able to deliver without that headache until you know what you can drive and how many orders and all that sort of stuff, the marketplaces will get you there. But don't do it in isolation. That would be my advice, is make sure you have that as an additional part, but not as your core part of your business. And then build customer closeness. And what I mean by that is your customers. We hear, and I've heard over the years, I'm not going to go online because I like to speak to my customers. I'm not going to go online because I like to get close to my customers. I'm not going to go online because I want a relationship with my customers. That doesn't stop you going and getting close to your customers. Taking online orders doesn't mean you don't know your customer. Taking online orders doesn't mean that you don't pick up the phone and thank them for the fact that they've just placed their last 100 orders with you, or they've ordered a banquet for their friends and family, and you want to phone them up and say thanks and say, actually, I'm going to give you 20% off next time round. That's different. And you need to make sure you're driving that customer closeness, because then you're in control. Then you know what your customers are doing. Then you know what your customers want. Then you're able to, if you decide to change all of your systems in 2 years' time, it doesn't matter, because you're close enough to your customers. You have a relationship, you have the contact, and you're building those relationships. So in summary, look at having your own website, online ordering system in there, but stay close to your customers and keep your customer data. That is your business, and that's what's essential to it. If we can help at any point, or you've just got questions, then please reach out. We're always happy to give a bit of advice or feedback and help you make the right decisions. But good luck. Online ordering is going to accelerate, so it's really, really important that you leverage it, you take that forward, and you start to embrace it. But also make sure you reach out and ask people, ask the right questions. Don't just jump in. Think about it before you do it. Take it step by step. And as I say, reach out if we can help with you, and good luck in the future.